Hello and welcome to the channel. Election campaigning has commenced fully in the country. On today's raid, I will be bringing you up to speed on the outcomes so far of the various political parties that will be contesting on February 23rd. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Towards 2023 elections, Nigeria's presidential candidates crisscross the nation. Of the 18 candidates contesting to become Nigeria's next president, just one is female, but she, along with 13 others, does not have a realistic chance of winning. Most analysts agree that only four candidates, Bola Tinubu of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, Atiku Abubakar of the main opposition People's Democratic Party PDP, Peter Obi of the Labour Party LP, and Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso of the New Nigeria People's Party NNPP can win or shape the destination of the presidency in February next year. Despite the clamor for leaders from a new generation, Peter Obi is the youngest of the quartet at 61. They all know each other and Nigerian politics well. Mr. Obi was elected governor of Anambra as a member of the All Progressives Grand Alliance in 2006 and left the PDP on the eve of the presidential primaries earlier this year to actualize his ambitions. This was a similar path told by Rabiu Kwankwaso, who was twice elected as governor of Kano as a member of the PDP but left to help form the NNPP as a vehicle to seek the presidency. He also contested in the 2015 primaries that produced incumbent President Buhari as the APC flag bearer. The man he beat into third place, Atiku Abubakar, who is now seeking the presidency for the second consecutive cycle as the PDP presidential nominee, had Mr. Obi as his running mate in 2019. His first foray into seeking the presidency in the current democratic dispensation was in 2007 when he ran as the Action Congress nominee, a party largely propped up by Bola Tinubu. The APC nominee himself facilitated the evolution of the opposition through the merger of four parties which created the current ruling party. Nigeria is currently faced with an environmental crisis, with floods subsuming parts of the country and displacing millions. Coupled with security and economic challenges, the parties have elected flag bearers with government experience. All four frontrunners have served as fixtures in Nigeria's Fourth Republic, 3 as state governors and 1 as vice president. One of the most recent platforms for campaigns was an interaction in Kaduna with the Arewa Joint Committee, which includes the Arewa Consultative Forum and Northern Elders Forum among its 6 organizations. In keeping with his reputation for largely eschewing associating himself with the Northern elite, Mr. Kwankwaso did not attend. However, the other 3 candidates were present and set out their agendas. Atiku focused on security, employment, industry, and transport infrastructure. But the PDP nominee's response to a question about why the North should trust him was interpreted as being divisive in nature and insulting to the regions endorsing candidates from other parts of the country. His claim that the North does not need a Yoruba or Igbo president, direct jabs at 2 direct rivals for the presidency, has not helped suggestions that he will pander to the populous North to get elected. Mr. Tinubu also focused on security, power, infrastructure projects, improved education, and oil and gas exploration, and discussed the need for a diversified economy with planned investments in agriculture and solid minerals in the region. His response to a question on climate change, where he appeared to lay responsibility on the West to provide investment and financial support to enable the countries that are taking the economic hits despite contributing little to climate change, was a narrative that circulated extensively online. Before Mr. Obi made his address, he was the source of some controversy as the Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, accused Mr. Obi of using security officials to block his movement during the Anambra governorship elections in November 2013. In his remarks, Mr. Obi made promises to deal with insecurity, boost the economy, fight corruption, and improve agricultural investment in the North. He also mentioned addressing out-of-school children in the region and promised to lead an all-inclusive government and ensure nationwide development. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. All four candidates will remain in the spotlight in the run-up to the election. Videos and statements of their public comments have been unearthed to either support or denigrate their campaigns on social media. However, an often ignored area in the campaign process is that it is in many ways a referendum on the performance of the ruling party. Mr. Tinubu will be expected to receive the support of the electorate backing the ruling party, but increasing criticism of the government's performance in economy, security, and environmental issues has bolstered the opposition. So too has the government's now lifted ban on Twitter and response to the hashtag #EndSARS protests, particularly among Nigeria's ever-growing youth population. Mr. Obi seems set to benefit most from this youth disgruntlement, a probable advantage of fewer years in partisan politics compared to the other three who assumed elected office when democracy returned in 1999. Yet, his chances of winning are complicated by the lack of a strong national structure. But what remains to be seen is whether the decision of the electorate is anchored around manifestos and promises, or if ethnic and religious considerations continue to take center stage. In a relatively short time, Obi has built up an enthusiastic base known as obedience, initially online but increasingly in the streets, who aim to cause an upset in the next year's election. Still, the Labour Party has a much smaller nationwide presence than the two rival parties, which are experienced at turning out voters across the vast West African country. Obi supporters will need to rapidly scale up their organizational infrastructure if they are to capitalize on the campaign's momentum. Obi originally sought the PDP's nomination before withdrawing from a party election that Abubakar, a former vice president and perennial presidential candidate, won in May. Tinubu, who used to govern the commercial hub of Lagos and is the most influential politician in southwestern Nigeria, triumphed by a landslide in the APC's primaries the following month. The 5-month race to the general elections gets underway as Nigerians contend with soaring inflation, a plunging currency, and pervasive insecurity. Production of the economy's historical mainstay, crude oil, has also slumped to a multi-decade lows, while the Buhari administration's debt service bill in the first quarter of the year exceeded the revenue it was able to earn. That's the news, guys. Have a good one out there. Bye.